So today marks a milestone for me in my recovery. It's 1,000 days clean and sober. And I can honestly say that at one point I did not think this would be possible. The first time I had went to treatment was 2017. When I got out of treatment, I thought for certain I could do this. And 3 weeks later, I relapsed. And I continued to relapse after short spurts uh, for the next several years. And so that pattern started beating down on me and taking a toll on me, so to speak. So when I, went to the treatment this last time, I can honestly say that I didn't think I'd make it this far. Let's go just 5 days into the journey this time. So 995 days ago, I would have never expected to make it this far. I didn't even think making it 6 months was possible. And then when I found out later on that I was gonna have to turn myself in, so now we're looking at 950 days ago. I certainly didn't think that I had a ghost of a chance um, making it to even a year, because I knew that I had to do some of that time in jail. And contrary to popular belief, drugs are just as readily available, if not more available, in jail as they are out in the streets. So, and you're in a constant toxic environment. So that was quite a challenge to get through. And like I said, I didn't think I could do it for the longest time. But I kept working on it. I didn't look too far ahead. I didn't get discouraged too much when I made mistakes. That was part of the process, learning to forgive myself of the errors that I make. Learning, changing my attitude essentially was a big part of it. Letting go of guilt, shame, resentment, regrets, uh, all things that are carried from the past that don't help. They're not beneficial. What I can do from the past mistakes is I can learn from them and I can grow from them. The mistakes I made back then, as long as I learn and grow, those aren't the mistakes of me today. The person from back then is not the person who's here today. And I had to learn to be honest with myself too. I still make mistakes today. I'm not above making mistakes. That's part of life. That's part of growth. Uh, but I have to be honest about them too. You know, for a long time, I lied to myself. I lied to the world around me. Wore a mask. And that doesn't just go away. You have to work on that, change that habit, change that behavior out of your life. Uh, when you make the mistake and you say something that's not true, being able to call yourself out as soon as you recognize it, even if it's embarrassing, that's part of the journey. That's part of the growth that I've had. Uh, and just continually proactively working on myself, because let's face it, in recovery you're always one poor choice away from relapse, and you can either walk around in fear from that and anticipate the next poor decision, or you can spend that time proactively working on yourself, doing what you can to better yourself to the best of your ability. And you take a step back, analyzing it, learning from it, and applying what you learned. It's a journey. There's bumps. It's part of it. But I'm happy to say that I've now made 1,000 days on this journey. And really, the number isn't as big of a factor as the work put into it. Many of us have met people that have 5, 6, 7 years of clean time, some even longer, and they just come off as miserable. They really haven't changed much outside of not using. Uh, they still have their attitude issues. It's because they cleaned up, but they didn't put in the work to change. Essentially the person that used is still there, and either they substituted or they're just lingering in that middle zone, not growing. For some, they might be okay with that, but it's hard to sustain. And part of recovery is changing. You're not becoming someone that, you're not pretending to be someone. You're literally changing into someone that you learn to love and respect. That makes all the difference for me. So with that, I'll say have a good day.